Here are the Digital Distillery Facebook updates for week of March 3rd. Buckle up. We've got a lot of updates to cover today. First, we've got some closure for now on the Facebook versus Australia trial or conflict or whatever word you want to use there. So the issue was Australia wanted Facebook to pay publishers for content that gets linked on its platform. Facebook said, nah, I don't think that's such a good idea. Well, last week when we touched on this, we saw that there was an agreement that had been reached. But here's just some more details and some insight of what's going to happen going forward. Facebook's saying that it could be devastating to require social platforms to pay publishers for linked content, and that the decision to ban the sharing of news in Australia was not out of the blue. And as this says, even if you're not in Australia, could happen to you too. So this came from Stacked Marketer, and I think coincidentally, most all the updates in here are from the Stacked Marketer newsletter. So just giving them a good shout out. Next, we have a helpful way to moderate messages. This was shared inside the group by Karen Sahatia, an absolute legend and true OG in the game, giving approved people access to view and respond to your Instagram messages. So just a helpful way to help moderate messages that you have incoming so you're not doing it all yourself. Next, some stats on different marketing strategies, different ways of looking at brand and versus direct response type of way of advertising or using Facebook for those objectives. So some of the statistics, there's a whole study in here which you can look up. Basically the difference between direct response and top of funnel or more like brand building type of strategies. Interesting that they say that when you break the numbers down, both methods become comparable. So a full report exists. And I thought this bottom line was interesting as well. Although upper funnel campaigns don't always convert right away, they can be just as effective if you're considering all of the factors. Sounds good to me. Imitation is the highest form of flattery. Probably the second most talked about thing in 2021, at least on these updates, is Facebook's taste for looking at features from other places, particularly TikTok, or when I say Facebook, I use that interchangeably with Instagram sometimes. They've announced live rooms, which means you can live stream with up to 3 other people, double what you can do on Instagram Live. So definitely, along with the rise in popularity of Clubhouse and Twitter on their Spaces feature. So nothing wrong with a little bit of healthy competition to see who can make the best new platform. More on iOS 14. I feel like it's gone a week or two since we've had anything here. So here's a cool breakdown, again, from Stacked Marketer of what Facebook knows. Some of these things, this in bold, the conversion tracking by age, gender, region, placement will be unavailable. What they think they knew but need to test. Audiences may need to be broader and less segmented. That's not bolded, but I think that goes in line with what's up here. And it might also be down here too. But the theme is something that a lot of us have been doing is knowing just how important testing broad audiences are, not trying to outsmart the algorithm, not trying to be super specific on your placements and regions and genders and ages and things like that. Just set it and let the algorithm figure it out for you. And here's what they don't know: the exact timeline, opt-out rates, how much performance will be impacted, things like that. So yeah, that's the latest and greatest on the iOS 14, just kind of an organized way of what we know, what we kind of know, or maybe not know, and what we do not know. Lightning round. We've got a handful of things here, some quick updates. Group members can now create Q&A posts. Before, it was just limited to admins. Facebook has launched a new app called Bars. It's like TikTok, but for rapping over pre-made beats. I know someone in particular who would be totally down for rapping marketing lyrics over pre-made beats. Then we got an internal report of the amount of users in Facebook groups. Haven't reported on that, me personally, with these updates, but we know that there's been a big push for Facebook groups for quite some time. Skipping down here, you can check out these other folks on your own. They had another PR campaign on TV and digital promotions. Why personalized ad targeting is a good thing. I think we all know why they're talking about that. Maybe it's iOS 14, which we can't just stop talking about because of how crazy impactful it's going to be. So those are your updates, and I will see you next week.